Hey there, Sean Walia here, Sean Walia Math. Today we're going to be discussing slope of the line and the slope formula. So let's get down to it. Okay, so slope of the line is basically the measurement of steepness of a line, but we need a mathematical measurement for that. Slope is actually very intuitive. If I give you two lines and I ask you which one has the higher slope, here's this guy, and here's this one. I think when you guys look at these, it's pretty obvious to everyone that this one's steeper. This one has a higher slope value than this one. And it does, okay, but we need a mathematical value for the slope that we're actually gonna compute in this lesson. Okay, so first thing you want to understand about slopes is that we have positive and negative slopes, okay? So we have a positive slope and negative slope. And it's very, very easy to understand. Now, first of all, always recognize that when we look at things mathematically, we always go from left to right. We always go that direction, all right? So, if I want to show you a positive slope, it's like you're going up the hill. That line has a positive slope. This one does. That one does, right? As long as you're going up as you travel left to right, you have a line that has a positive slope. I think you get the idea. Now, a negative slope, you're going down the hill, okay? So here you go. There's a line with a negative slope. Here's a steeper line with a negative slope. Here's another one not as steep, right? As we go downhill, negative slope, uphill, positive slope. Okay, pretty simplistic, right? All right, so the other two types of slopes that you need to know is the slope of a horizontal line and a vertical line, okay? So hopefully you know what a horizontal and a vertical line looks like. So a horizontal line is kind of like a parallel with the ground, that's how I see it, and a slope of a horizontal line is 0. We'll explain why in a little bit, but for now, just accept it. Okay, and then if we have a vertical line, the slope of the vertical line is what we say in math, undefined, a circle with a line through it, right? So you have a slope of 0, where it's a horizontal line, or you have an undefined slope, in which case it's a vertical line. And then the other two types of lines we have are lines with positive and negative slopes. Okay, so let's just do a quick exercise to make sure that you are following what I'm talking about right now. So take a look at these lines. Right now, all I'm asking is the slope of A, the slope of B, the slope of C, and the slope of D. I'm not actually asking, what's the slope? I just want to know whether it's positive, negative, 0, or undefined, okay? So the slope of A, slanted going up the hill, positive. The slope of B, slope of a horizontal line, is 0. The slope of C is going to be undefined because it's a vertical line, and the slope of D is going to be negative because you are going down the hill. Pretty basic, right? I mean, not too bad, right? Up the hill positive, down the hill negative, undefined, and 0, okay? So if you get that, you're well on the way to understanding slope. All right, so let's actually do some calculations of slope now. So the slope formula, or actually let's just define slope. Slope is defined to be, first we use the letter M to denote slope, and it's defined as the rise over the run between 2 points. Another mathematical definition you might see is the change in y, delta y over delta x, change in y over the change in x. So essentially what you're doing is you want to grab 2 points on the line. And so say you have a line and you have 2 points and you want to know the slope. So say I know this point here and this point here. And so what you want to do is you want to draw a right triangle with these 2 points as vertices, if you will. So I'm going to go like this, that, and like so. And what you've done is you've drawn lines to denote the horizontal distance between the 2 points and the vertical distance between the 2 points. Now, I haven't shown you what those points are. We could make some up. We could say that that's 1, 0. And we could say that that's the point perhaps 8, 5. That means, of course, that here is 8 and here is 1. So the distance, the horizontal distance between these 2 points is 8 minus 1, which is 7. Now, according to this point right here, we're at 5. And by the way, you guys, I'm doing this kind of in a way to explain it. I'm going to give you a formula and give you a much more concrete example after this, okay? So just bear with me, okay? Okay, so this is 5. All right, so I'm ready to establish the slope. It's a positive slope. I can initially see that. The rise between the 2 points is 5, and the run between the 2 points is 7, giving me a slope of 5 over 7, okay? So let's actually take some more concrete examples. Let's jump to that sheet that I showed you before. And yeah, let's go over here and let's calculate some slopes, okay? So check out the slope of line A. Okay, well, they've been nice enough to give us 2 points. Let's draw in that right triangle between the 2 points. So we have this and this. Okay, now I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That length is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 as well. What slope? Okay, so first of all, it's a positive slope. Positive rise of 5, run of 5. The slope of that line is 1. Nice. Okay, the slope of B. Again, they've given us 2 points. We will draw a right triangle between the 2 points so that I can see the horizontal and vertical distances between the 2 points. 1, 2, 3, that's 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that's 8. What type of slope is this? Is it a negative or a positive slope? You should know it's a negative slope, and the rise is 3, and the run is 8, and away you go. There's the slope of that line. So you can find the slope of a line by simply just getting 2 points and calculating the horizontal and vertical distance from the 2 points. And you can do that quite easily by drawing a right triangle. Yeah, so that's that. So if you're given a line, then this is how you go about finding the slope. Now, what's going to happen though is that perhaps you won't have the line in front of you. Perhaps you'll be given 2 points and you'll be asked what is the slope between these 2 points. Now that is where you're going to want to know the slope formula. The slope formula is equivalent to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so the best way to show you how this works is to actually just do an example, okay? So, I would say find the slope between -3, 4 and 5, -8. Okay, so you've been asked to find the slope between 2 points. This is when you use the slope formula. Now, the process in using the slope formula is first you're going to do some tagging. You're going to recognize that each one of these points is an xy coordinate, but you need to label these one group or one coordinate, call that the ones, and then call the other one the twos. It doesn't matter which one you do it with, okay? I can even switch it around. I can switch it up and I can call these the twos and these the ones, doesn't matter, okay? Now I'm gonna plug it into the formula, okay? So whenever we use a formula, we typically write it out first thing. And now we're gonna substitute. Okay, so m equals y2, according to what we did here, y2 is 4 minus y1, that's -8. Now, this is where students kind of make mistakes a lot of the time because they're like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to go 4 minus 8, and there's already a minus there, so I only need one minus sign. No, 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 no. In the formula, there's a minus. The value's an integer, it's -8, so you have to go 4 minus -8. Okay, so be careful about that. Then we're gonna go x2, which is -3, minus 5. We then calculate, we have 4 plus 8, two negatives making a positive. -3 minus 5 is -8. And I'm gonna get 12 over -8. You should know that this fraction is not reduced. We can reduce this fraction. 4 goes into the top 3 times and into the bottom twice. And there we have the slope between those 2 points. Okay, great. So you found the slope between 2 points using the slope formula. Perhaps we could do another example to illustrate. Let's grab one from that worksheet that I was just showing you a second ago. Yeah, so we can do it right here. Let's go ahead and do E. Okay, so we're gonna do E. And I'll write out the slope formula. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now I'm doing, what am I doing? I'll do E right now, so I'm doing E. So this is, we'll call this x sub 1, y sub 1. We'll call this x sub 2, y sub 2. And we go ahead and we substitute, okay? So we've got y2, -15, minus -4 over -15 minus -4 over 4 minus -6. Okay, so if I do the computation here, that's going to be -15 plus 4 over 4 plus 6, and I'm going to get -11 over 10. And there's the slope between those 2 points. Perfect. Okay, great. Okay, so that's, that's the basics of finding the slope given 2 points. Now, I'd like to do one more question, one that's a little bit more sophisticated. So let's take a look at this one, okay? So I'll make one up, okay? So the slope of the line between 2 points is 4 over 3. Okay, so let's write that out. The slope of a line is 4 over 3 between the 2 points -3, 4 and K12. Okay, so the slope of the line between the 2 points -3, 4 and K12 is 4 over 3. Find K. Okay, so the slope formula is your friend here, and then it's just a basic substitution process. Let me switch colors around here, okay, just to do the answer. So M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I'm going to substitute everything in where it's supposed to go. Here's xy. Here's xy. We'll call these the ones. Call these the twos. And in this question, they gave us the slope. They said the slope is 4/3. So that is M. M is 4/3. So I'll substitute that in for M. So I have 4 over 3 equals y2, which is 12, minus y1, which is 4, over x2, k, minus 3. Now, if we simplify this a bit, we get k over 3 is equivalent to 12 minus 4 is 8 over k plus 3. Okay, so now you've got to do some algebra. Essentially, you have one fraction equaling one fraction. you can cross multiply, okay? So when we cross multiply, we get 4 times k plus 3 on one side, and on the other side, we get 24. We are going to distribute the 4, so we get 4k plus 12, and essentially we're just doing algebra now to figure out what k is. Minus 12 from both sides. 4k is equal to 12. Divide both sides by 4, and k equals 3, and there you have it. Okay, so that was a pretty brief introduction to slope. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you could just hit like and perhaps subscribe to my channel, that would be really helpful to me. I'm hopeful that I've been helpful for you in understanding slope of a line. And have a great day, and I'm glad you guys watched the video. Take care now. Bye-bye.